Have you ever felt that someone close to you isn't what they pretend to be? Maybe it's a friend who smiles at you, but something inside you feels wrong. Maybe it's someone in your family whose presence steals your peace. Maybe it's someone who calls you brother, friend, or love. Yet your soul whispers, be careful. Evil doesn't always arrive wearing horns, darkness, or rage. Sometimes it comes dressed as kindness, loyalty, even love. Stoics believe that the greatest danger in life is not the enemy we see, but the enemy we trust. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Some people are so consumed with darkness that their presence stains everyone around them. Today's video exposes the most powerful psychological signs that reveal an evil person is right next to you, maybe closer than you think. So before we begin, hit the like button. Subscribe if you value strong and life-changing truth, because this video may protect you from the biggest mistake of your life. Now let's begin. 7 signs that reveal an evil person is standing right beside you. 1. They act sweet in public, but cruel in private. There is a certain kind of evil that doesn't scream, doesn't hit, doesn't announce itself. It hides behind smiles, compliments, and sweet gestures. These people are masters of performance, the kind who make everyone believe they are pure, kind, and noble. In public, they shine like gold. They speak gently, they laugh loudly, they support others, and everyone praises them as the nicest person ever. And that's the trap, because evil today isn't always loud and violent. Sometimes it is charming, polite, and beautifully disguised. But when the lights go off and no audience is left, their mask falls. Behind closed doors, their words turn into knives. Their tone becomes sharp, cold, poisonous. Suddenly, the sweet person who praised you an hour ago is now the one insulting you, degrading you, humiliating you. And the worst part? They do it quietly, strategically, with precision. They know exactly what will hurt you the most. They don't break your bones, they break your spirit. They know reputation is power. Evil requires witnesses to admire them, not to see who they truly are. So their cruelty always happens when no one else is watching. In private conversations, late-night messages, or moments when you are too vulnerable to defend yourself. And when you try to speak up, nobody believes you. Because the world sees an angel while you face the devil. This is why it hurts so deeply. Not because they are openly cruel, but because they pretend to love you while slowly destroying you. They make you question your reality, your memory, your sanity. They want you confused, doubting yourself, blaming yourself for every wound they cause. That's how silent evil operates, not through violence, but through psychological suffocation. Stoics said, "Character is who you are when no one is watching." Anyone can play good in the spotlight. The real test is how they treat you when the doors are closed, when there is no audience to impress, no status to maintain, no applause waiting. So watch closely, not how they speak in crowds, but how they speak to you when no one sees. Not how they treat strangers, but how they treat your heart. Because an evil person can fool the entire world, but your soul will always feel the truth. And when your intuition whispers, this person is not who they pretend to be, listen, it may save your life. 2. They never feel guilty, they just justify everything. One of the most disturbing signs of a truly evil person is their complete inability to feel guilt. Normal people make mistakes, that's human. We all hurt someone at some point. We all say things we regret. We all act out of emotion. But healthy people recognize their wrongdoing. They apologize, they feel the weight of what they did, and they try to repair what they broke. That's what empathy looks like. That's what a conscience sounds like. But evil people? They operate differently. They do not apologize, they attack. They do not feel guilty, they blame. Instead of owning their actions, they twist reality so skillfully that suddenly you become the villain in the story and they become the victim. They can stab you emotionally, and when you start bleeding, they'll say the knife was your fault. They say things like, "You're overreacting. Stop being dramatic. This wouldn't have happened if you listened. You made me do this." And the dangerous part? They say it with such confidence that you start questioning your own memory. You start wondering if maybe you really are the problem. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe you are too emotional, too sensitive, too weak. That's the psychological poison they inject. They don't break your bones. they break your perception of yourself. They don't just avoid responsibility, they rewrite the entire narrative so they come out clean, innocent, even righteous. They will hurt you and then make you apologize for being hurt. They will betray you and then accuse you of not trusting enough. They will destroy you slowly and call it love, care, or your fault. Why do they do this? Because guilt requires a conscience, and they don't have one. To feel guilt, you must feel the pain of another human being, and they can't. Their hearts are hollow. Their empathy is dead. They are emotionally blind to the suffering they cause. And worse, they enjoy watching the consequences of their actions unfold. They wear a mask of innocence so convincingly that the world believes them, while you silently drown in confusion. And here is the deepest truth. If someone truly cares about you, they will never let you sleep with pain they caused. But if someone constantly flips the blame, refuses accountability, and makes you feel guilty for being human, you are not dealing with a mistake, you're dealing with evil. So pay attention. If someone never apologizes, never reflects, never accepts responsibility, if every conflict ends with your tears and their victory, you are not loved, you are being controlled. Remember, the person who refuses to admit they are wrong will eventually convince you that you are, and that is the most dangerous form of psychological warfare. 3. They enjoy your pain. There is a terrifying truth that most people don't want to accept. Not everyone who stands close to you wants to see you rise. Some people smile at your face, clap when others are watching, and pretend to care about your life. But deep inside, your happiness burns them. Your success suffocates them. Your growth threatens them. These people don't hate you openly, but they carry an invisible, poisonous envy that slowly eats at your relationship like acid. Watch how they react when something good happens to you. Tell them about a new opportunity, a dream achieved, a blessing, a victory, and suddenly their eyes lose their shine, their voice becomes flat, their enthusiasm disappears. They change the topic. They look uncomfortable. They stay silent when they should be celebrating with you. Because in their heart, your success feels like their defeat. But when life hits you hard, when you fail, when you break, when you cry, watch closely. Suddenly they are present. Suddenly they are listening with strange excitement. Suddenly their tone softens, not out of love, but out of pleasure watching you fall. They may pretend to comfort you, but inside, they feel a dark sense of satisfaction. Your pain feeds them. They absorb your suffering like oxygen, and every tear you drop makes them feel stronger, taller, more powerful. This is the evil hidden in plain sight. The people who celebrate your downfall in silence. Stoic wisdom says, "The man who envies is far more dangerous than the man who hates." Hate is visible. You can defend against it. But envy is quiet. It lives and smiles, in compliments, in fake support. You never see it coming until it's too late. These individuals will clap the loudest when life destroys you, but they will vanish the moment you start winning again. And ask yourself this: why would someone feel joy from your suffering? The answer is simple: because deep inside, they believe your success exposes their failure. They cannot grow, so they want to drag you down. They cannot shine, so they want to dim your light. They cannot face their weakness, so they hope life breaks you so they don't feel alone. If your sadness gives someone peace, if your struggle makes someone feel better, if someone becomes more affectionate only when you are broken, then understand you're not surrounded by a friend, but by poison. Protect yourself. Not everyone deserves access to your victories, your dreams, your spirit. Some people should only watch you from a distance, because the closer they are, the more dangerous they become. And when your intuition whispers that someone smiles at your pain, walk away before they learn to destroy you completely. 4. They manipulate your emotions like a weapon. There is nothing more dangerous than someone who knows your heart well enough to break it deliberately. Evil people study you, not to love you, but to use you. They observe your deepest fears, your insecurities, your past wounds, your needs, your soft spots, and then they turn them into weapons. They don't attack you physically. They attack where it hurts the most: your emotions, your identity, your sense of worth. At first, they lift you up. They shower you with admiration, compliments, kindness, attention. They make you feel safe, seen, valued. They make you believe you've found someone special, Someone who understands you like no one ever has. You open your heart. You trust them. You give them access to the most delicate parts of your soul. That's exactly what they want. Because the moment they know they have you emotionally, they switch. One day, they make you feel like you are everything. The next day, they make you feel like you are nothing. They pull you close and then push you away. They build you up only to tear you down. They give you hope only to destroy it when it benefits them. Soon, you begin living in a constant state of confusion. Did I do something wrong? Why did they change? Are they good or are they bad? You become trapped in emotional whiplash, addicted to their approval, terrified of their rejection. You start trying harder, loving stronger, sacrificing more, desperate to return to the version of them that once made you feel special. But that version never truly existed. It was a strategy, not love. The confusion they create is not an accident. It is by design. Emotional chaos is their weapon of control. When you are confused, you cannot think clearly. When you doubt yourself, they can control your decisions. When your self-worth collapses, they own you completely. They break you without ever touching you. And the worst part? You find yourself defending them, making excuses for them, believing lies instead of truth. You cling to the few moments they were kind, ignoring the many moments they destroyed you. You convince yourself they will change, not realizing they don't need to, because they are exactly who they want to be. Stoicism teaches that the greatest power we possess is control over our inner world. But evil people know that if they can damage your emotions, they can take that power from you. They can rewrite your reality, reshape your identity, and make you feel like you're nothing without them. But listen carefully. Anyone who plays with your emotions like a toy is not love. That is manipulation. If someone brings peace one day and pain the next, if someone confuses your soul and drains your spirit, if someone uses your vulnerability against you, then you are not in a relationship. You are in a psychological war. And the only way to win a war like this is to walk away before they destroy everything inside you. 5. They isolate you from others. One of the most chilling tactics of an evil person is their mission to cut you away from everyone who gives you strength. They don't start by attacking you directly. They start by disconnecting you from your support system. Slowly, quietly, strategically, they separate you from your friends, your family, the people who love you, the people who would protect you if they knew what was happening. Because they know that a person surrounded by love is impossible to control, but a person standing alone can be broken piece by piece. They begin with subtle whispers. I don't think your friends care about you. Your family doesn't understand you like I do. They're jealous of you. You shouldn't trust them. They plant seeds of doubt until your mind becomes a battlefield. They make you question the intentions of the people who have always stood by your side. They make you believe the world is full of enemies, and they are the only safe place. And slowly, you start pulling away from others. You cancel plans, you stop sharing things with friends, you distance yourself from family, you stop reaching out for help. You convince yourself you are doing the right thing, but in reality, you are being led into isolation step by step. And once you are alone, that's when they tighten the chains. Because now, you depend entirely on them. Every emotional need, every moment of acceptance, every piece of support now comes only from them. And when a single person becomes your whole world, they own the power to build you or destroy you anytime they want. They don't need to cage your body, they cage your mind. You begin to feel trapped without even realizing you're trapped. You stop recognizing yourself. You feel smaller, weaker, more afraid. You start living inside a prison you didn't even notice was built around you. A prison made of manipulation, fear, silence, and emotional dependence. Stoic philosophy warns us. The worst prison is the one we build around ourselves. Because once the mind accepts captivity, the body follows easily. The cruel genius of an evil person is that they don't lock you away physically. They convince you that no one else cares, that you're safer with them, that you don't need anyone else. They want you to feel alone so that you have no other voice left to hear but theirs. So here is the hardest truth. If someone encourages isolation, it is not love, it is control. If someone tries to shrink your world, they are trying to shrink your power. If someone wants to be the only person you rely on, they are preparing to own you. And when they whisper, "Only I care about you," remember, People who truly care never separate you from love. They surround you with it. If someone tries to cage your world, escape before you no longer remember what freedom feels like. 6. They never celebrate your growth. One of the clearest signs that evil stands beside you is how someone reacts to your growth. Pay attention, because this truth is sharp and painful. Not everyone wants to see you evolve. Some people don't clap when you rise, they choke inside. They don't smile when you win, they freeze. Your success burns them like fire, because your growth exposes everything they are not. Tell them your dream, and watch their face. A real friend's eyes light up, but an evil person? They smirk, they laugh, they tell you it's impossible, they remind you of every reason you will fail. Not because they care about your safety, but because they cannot stand the idea of you becoming more than who you are today. Because the day you grow is the day they lose power over you. Tell them your progress, a new skill learned, a new opportunity, a step forward, and they will discourage you instantly. They will say, "Are you sure you can handle that?" Many people fail doing that. Don't get too excited. They speak like advisors, but their words are knives. Every sentence is designed to shrink your confidence. They want you small, unsure, dependent. And if you tell them your success, something meaningful, something you worked hard for, they will not celebrate. They will change the subject. They will compare. They will suddenly tell you about something they achieved to steal the spotlight. They compete instead of applaud. Because in their mind, life is not about growth, but about domination, and your win feels like their loss. The truth is simple. Your growth threatens them because it reduces their control. As long as you feel weak, they feel powerful. As long as you doubt yourself, they feel superior. As long as you stay beneath them, they feel safe. But the moment you rise, the moment you begin to believe in yourself, they panic. Because evil cannot survive where strength grows. They cannot manipulate someone who is confident. They cannot control someone who knows their worth. So they try to break your wings before you learn to fly. Stoicism teaches that a wise person finds joy in the success of others, because greatness is not a competition. But insecure, evil souls cannot celebrate others. They only protect their ego. That is why they try to dim your light, not because it is too bright, but because it reveals their darkness. So remember this with every cell in your body. People who love you support your light. People who fear you try to dim it. Watch who claps when you win. Watch who stands close when you rise. Watch who celebrates your evolution, not just your suffering. Because the ones who cannot handle your growth are the ones who were never meant to grow with you. And when someone makes you feel guilty for improving your life, leave them behind. Your future is too important to waste it on someone threatened by your wings. Rise anyway. 7. Your intuition feels heavy around them. There is a silent alarm system inside every human being, intuition. It speaks without words. It warns without evidence. It whispers truths long before logic catches up. And when you are standing next to an evil person, your intuition will scream louder than your thoughts. You don't need physical proof to sense danger. Your body knows. Your energy knows. Your soul knows. Have you ever felt your chest tighten for no reason when someone entered the room? Have you ever felt your stomach twist or your heartbeat change when a certain person spoke? Have you ever walked away from someone feeling emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, spiritually suffocated, even though nothing obvious happened? That is not paranoia. That is not sensitivity. That is your spirit recognizing a threat before your mind can explain it. When an evil person is near, your body reacts instinctively, like a wounded animal sensing a predator in the dark. Your muscles tense, your breathing changes, your thoughts scatter. You become uncomfortable in ways you can't articulate. You start feeling anxious without knowing why. Their presence steals your peace, steals your calm, steals the light from your chest. You may try to rationalize it, ignore it, or blame yourself for being dramatic, but deep inside, something is warning you. Something is saying you are not safe here. People around you might see nothing wrong. Evil hides behind charm, smiles, kindness, and masks. They appear friendly, supportive, harmless, but your intuition sees what your eyes cannot. Your energy picks up on their darkness even if your senses can't prove it yet. Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that the human soul has an ancient ability, an internal compass that detects truth beneath illusion. As they taught, The soul has its own ability to sense what the eyes cannot see. And when that sense becomes heavy, when your intuition collapses into silence or panic, your spirit is trying to protect you from something destructive. Because energy never lies. Words can lie, actions can lie, smiles can lie, but energy never. So if someone's presence leaves you feeling small, tense, weak, or drained, pay attention. If you feel peace when they leave and pressure when they arrive, pay attention. If your joy dies when they walk into the room, pay attention. Your soul is not confused. It is warning you to run. The greatest mistake people make is ignoring the signs their spirit sends them. They try to be polite. They doubt themselves. They wait for proof. But intuition rarely shouts twice. So trust the feeling that something is wrong, even when you cannot explain why. Trust the tightening in your chest. Trust the heaviness in your heart. Trust the silence of your soul. Because one day you'll realize your intuition wasn't protecting you from discomfort. It was protecting you from destruction. When your energy collapses in someone's presence, don't question yourself. Walk away. Save yourself. Your peace is worth more than any relationship. As we conclude, the most dangerous evil is not outside. It is the evil standing smiling right beside you. Protect your energy. Protect your peace. Cut connections without explanation. Walk away from anything that destroys your inner world. Because peace is not found when you add more people. Peace begins when you remove the wrong ones. If this video opened your eyes, hit the like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more deep and powerful content. Remember, evil hides in familiar faces. Stay awake, stay aware, stay unbreakable,